everybody. This is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for our devotional today. We're in Acts chapter 14. I'm going to be reading verses 24 through 28. It reads, Then they passed through Pisidia and came to Pamphylia. And when they had spoken the word in Perga, they went down to Attalia. And from there they set sail to Antioch, where they had been commended to the grace of God for the work that they had fulfilled. And when they had arrived, they gathered the church together, and they declared that all God had done with them, and how he had opened a door of faith to the Gentiles, and they remained no little time with the disciples. So this section of the text by Luke is a very short little summary of Paul and Barnabas's journey through a really mountainous region of Lycaonia, Pisidia, and Pamphylia. Essentially, they stop off at a few small, very small towns and then set sail for home to the church that had sent them. Now, not much is said about this here, but I'm sure that Paul told some great stories when he got back. Keep in mind that communication and travel did not work like it does today, so the church at Antioch probably didn't know much about the events and the challenges of their journeys. And I bet Paul looked a little different given the makeover he got in Lystra, right? But notice the theme that comes from the experiences. It's this, that God had opened a door of faith to the Gentiles. You know, sometimes God writes an amazing story in our obedience. We take one step and another, and then he reveals the mission along the way. And while so many individuals and businesses and churches try with great effort to predetermine a mission with a specific strategy and goals, sometimes God will hijack these plans to show us a much better plan, right? His plan. And to some degree, this is what Paul and Barnabas discover. They discover God's bigger plan. Redemption not only for Jews, but also for all people, even those far off, the Gentiles. And this becomes the focal point of Paul's ministry, by the way. Did you know that? Paul says this in Romans chapter 11, verses 13 through 14. He says, Now I am speaking to you Gentiles, insomuch then as I am an apostle to the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry in order to somehow make my fellow Jews jealous and thus save, well, some of them, right? His mission was to the Gentiles, all because of these moments here. So, are you looking for meaning and purpose and calling in this life? Well, then be obedient. And in daily obedience, start paying attention, right? God will reveal it. But once he does, expect it to be both fulfilling and challenging all at the same time, even the greatest challenge of your life. Well, thanks, Phyllis, for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, like it, share it, hit that subscribe button below. I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.